Hey everybody, welcome to my shed here in Virginia. My name is Hunter. Today we're going to be talking about the topic of undercutting in relief carving. I kind of like to refer to it as the floating effect. Now I'm carving on skulls, but this works with any type of relief carving, and what it will do, this is our example, is it will give it a lot more depth than what you're already doing and kind of give you a lot more of a 3D feeling to your carving. I'm going to show you what burrs you will need and which ones work best. Now this technique is really for the final stages of your carving, so I'm going to quickly carve up this design I have here as our example, and then we're going to get into how to achieve that floating effect. What you'll see me carving with in this video is a Dremel 4000. I've got it hung up to my side here because I'm using the flex shaft with the handpiece, and this is super nice, just gives you a lot of flexibility. Insert your carving burr into the chuck and leave it sticking out about ½ an inch. If you leave it sticking out any more than that, then you could potentially have a lot of vibrations in your handpiece and just makes it harder carving. And of course, don't forget your safety equipment. Okay, this is the carving, and this is how it looks. Looks fine, it doesn't look bad, but we can do better. We can add a lot of depth to it by doing some undercutting, and let me grab a clipboard and I can show you exactly how that's going to look. Okay, class time. So right now, the edges around our carving, right, these little edges right here, at the moment, they look like this. Since we used a ball carbide burr, there's kind of a little slope at the edge here. Now that's fine. What I typically tell people is you would come back and clean that up with a cylinder burr so that you have a sharper edge. That just makes it look cleaner, like this. Doesn't necessarily give you more depth. Now what we're going to do is use two different types of burrs. The first one would be a inverted cone burr. I'll show you a couple of examples here. And that will, when you run it along that edge, it will cut back that edge kind of at a sharp angle like this. And then you're left with this, which this is good. You know, this is a version of a kind of floating effect that we're doing here. Now the kind of better option is to use a disc burr. Again, I'll show you a couple different variations here. And what that's going to do is it's going to create an edge that looks more like this. And when viewed from above, this edge is going to look a lot cleaner because you won't really be able to see the back end of this. So when you're viewing it from up here, you can't see where it ends. So it literally looks like whatever carving you have is just kind of floating on top of the surface because you can't see the end. With the inverted comb burr, you can kind of see the edge here, so it kind of takes a little bit away. You know, if you're viewing it from the very top, it looks fine, but this, kind of in my opinion, is going to be the better option. I'm going to interrupt this video to share the sponsor, which is a guide that I created on how to carve feathers. 12 pages long, covers all the burrs that you'll need to carve and step-by-step instructions. Now, if you're watching this video, it's definitely along the lines of something you're interested in, whether you're beginner or advanced, you just haven't carved feathers yet. I'll show you exactly how to do that in this guide. And bonus, it's not only a guide, it's also a video tutorial as well. So you get both of these combined into one, which is really going to help you walk through the steps on how to carve some pretty cool feathers. And it's only $4.99. So I'll leave a link in the description of this video. Thanks for watching, and let's get back to it. And all you're going to do is just hold your handpiece horizontal, vertical to the surface, and then run it along the edge that you're trying to undercut. And the edge does not have to be super thick. These disc burrs come in really small sizes, so just as long as you do have an edge, it still will work. You know, a bit of a kind of thicker edge, I would say, creates a little more depth, but just suffice to say, you don't need a super thick edge in order to create this effect. And there you have your floating effect for a relief carving. Once you start carving, there's not a whole lot to it. You'll get quickly get a feel for how that burr cuts, and you'll catch on no problem at all. I'll leave a link to those burrs in the description of this video, as well as the feather carving tutorial. Please do consider liking and subscribing to my channel. I hope you had fun today. Hope you learned a little bit, and leave a comment below. Thanks, guys.